how many Riverdale superfans are out in the crowd. Okay, I just watched that and I am shook-eth, which is what all the kids are saying these days. All right, let's bring out your incredible cast and crew from Riverdale. Let's start with, of course, the executive producer of Riverdale, Roberto Aguirre Sacasa. Fred Andrews himself, Luke Perry, Mayor Hermione Lodge, Marisol Nichols, Hiram Lodge, Mark Consuelos, Tony Topaz, Vanessa Morgan, Cheryl Blossom, Madeline Patch, Shirtless Archie Andrews, KJ Appa, Veronica Lodge, Camila Mendez, Betty Cooper, Lily Reinhardt, and Jughead Jones, Cole Sprouse. Let's hear it for Kevin Keller, Casey Cott. Josie McCoy, Ashley Murray. Woo! Alice Cooper, Machen Amick. FP Jones, Skeet Ulrich. And Riverdale executive producer Sarah Schechter. And executive producer John Goldwater. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Now, let's get right to it. We have a lot to unpack from last season. The first thing I would like to know, Roberto, is this season 3, as the Riverdale gang heads into their junior year of high school, will we at any point see anybody do any sort of schoolwork or homework, or will there be will anything in a classroom happen?
Yeah, definitely. We've got this great set. It's a high school. We very rarely use it. Absolutely. One of the things we talked about in the writer's room when we started is how important junior year, and it's the first time kids are thinking about college. They're thinking about jobs after college, or they're thinking about internships. They're doing tons of extracurriculars. And we're gonna try to infuse this season with a lot more high school stuff, still with all the crime and drama and mystery, but we're gonna talk about the SATs, applying to colleges, advisors, clubs, all that stuff.
Who would have the highest SAT score on this panel, do you think?
Veronica. People or characters?
Yeah. No, I think they're characters.
Veronica.
Okay, so at the end of last season, the dreaded evildoer Hiram Lodge, aka my baby daddy, has solidified control of the South Side, right? Okay, with the help of Penny Peabody, the Ghoulies, and the Blossoms. I like to call them the Triangle of Doom.
For sure.
Yeah. What does this season hold? What will they continue their evil doing, or will we find out that there's a heart of gold somewhere deep within?
Maybe deep within. Our cast lost the South Side to Hiram and the Legion of Doom, and when we meet them in the premiere, they're trying to maintain peace. The Serpents, led by Jughead Jones and FP Jones still, and with Betty and Cheryl, they're trying to maintain a peace between the Serpents and the Ghoulies and Hiram, but that quickly gets disturbed in our first episode back.
As I saw by that teaser. Okay, so Luke Perry, Fred Andrews. Hi.
Hello.
So I know you're determined to sort of save your son Archie from himself and from his legal woes, his troubles. But you're going to start working with some old friends, is that correct?
That's the idea.
Yeah?
Yeah, you always need your friends to get the good stuff done, to get the hard stuff done. Fred's no different. I have enlisted FP. Yes. And I have enlisted Tom Keller to help me. We got a few things. We got a few
Are you guys the hot dads of Riverdale?
I don't know.
Which one of you, Luke, would you say is the hottest dad?
Lily.
I mean, if it's a contest between you and FP, say.
Oh, yeah, FP.
I mean, excuse me, the man is sitting right here.
I'm good. It's FP.
Okay, so Marisol, Mayor Hermione, newly elected mayor of Riverdale.
Yes.
Right off the bat, she finds herself in crisis, an unexpected crisis. So how will she be dealing with that? How will she work her new role as mayor into her story?
I think that Hermione is really happy to have a little power of her own. Mm-hmm. And I think she's going to use that power to kind of change the way her marriage has been for the last season. So I'm really looking forward to that. And also for Hermione, sort of rekindling the tenuous relationship that she had with Veronica for the second season, and hopefully getting back to that mother-daughter bond that they had the first season.
Okay, well, let's, speaking of bonds, Hiram Lodge is new last season, Mark Consuelos. You are now the newly crowned kingpin of the South Side. You bought everything, you own everything, you have your octopus tentacles everywhere. What is in store for you? What can you tell us about your evil doing? And if you could say, if there was one crime you could commit that you haven't committed yet, what would it be?
I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you. I don't know yet. I mean, I think he's pretty much bought everything. I think right now he's going to just focus on being a thorn in his daughter's side. You know, he really wants to get her to acquiesce and do what he wants, but she's just as stubborn as he is. So I think they're going to butt heads. And then he's got to watch his back for Hermione because he knows she's gunning for him.
Who's the most savage daddy, you or Hermione?
Hermione. Hermione.
All right, now, we also have Vanessa Morgan, of course, Tony Topaz. Hi. Is a series regular now, which is great. Congratulations. Now, here's the thing. I've learned so much from watching Riverdale the past 2 seasons. I did not understand what a ship was. I didn't know that. I didn't understand a ship. It had to be explained to me. But do you ship the Shoney? Is that right? You ship it?
I ship Shoney harder than I ship anything else.
Did everybody ship Shoney? Glad I said that right. Yeah. So you're also going to find yourself with a rivalry with Josie, is that correct?
Me?
Potentially?
Is that correct?
Well,
They may not know that yet, Kelly.
Sorry. Or not.
They know it
Never mind.
now.
Well, maybe I'm a little jealous. Maybe I'm a little jealous that you had a crush on her at some point. You're like, oh, it's okay. Oh,
Never mind.
Like you said, she's just starting out. Learning how to do all this stuff.
No, I made it up. I just made it up. Anyway, let's talk about Madeleine. Of course, Cheryl. Before we talk about season 3 and what's in store for Shoney, where did you learn archery so well? And is that like special effects? Because it looks like you know what you're doing.
so I learned that with like 2 practices right before we shot it, and all of those bullseyes were mine.
No.
I'm obsessed with archery now. Obsessed. I won't stop.
It's really incredible. I was like, oh, she did that like in
That's
camp.
a back workout, by the way. That is fully back muscles, which I never had before that.
Wow.
I shake when I do it, but it's so fun.
But you're emancipated now. You're in control of everything.
Or I think I am, at least. I don't think I actually am.
How are you going to utilize your power? Will you use it for good or for evil?
Well, I think Cheryl will think it's for good,
Yeah.
but I think maybe it won't be perceived that way. Cheryl's in a place right now where she's kind of on like a high, a power high. I mean, she's got her girlfriend for the first time ever. She is emancipated from her mother. You know, she's still the head cheerleader. And so I think now she's going to start making power grabs left, right, and center, which maybe won't be so great.
Well, let's move on over to KJ, Appa, Archie, of course. Now, KJ, I'm not sure if you're aware, but last season Left Off, you were arrested for the murder of Cassidy Bullock. Did you know that?
I did know that.
Yeah. And here's what I don't understand. So Andre really killed Cassidy.
Yes.
But nothing's going to come of that, right? Nothing will happen. Is that correct?
Well, season 3, the first episode starts off with Archie's on trial for the murder of Cassidy Bullock. And I guess, yeah, we'll see if he's going to go away or if he's not going to go away or not.
What's going to happen with you and Veronica? Will this solidify? Because sometimes relationships, trauma brings them really close together, and sometimes it breaks them apart. So where do you see your relationship going?
Yeah, I think definitely the distance and separation between them, if he goes away, is going to be tough. I think it'll shake things up a bit.
And what about the super couple that is Harchie, which is Hiram and Archie? Will that?
I ship it. I ship it too. Yeah. I shipped it ever since I was in that headlock and was just sniffing your bicep.
Will there be any more weird wrestling scenes that I should warn my kids about?
I hope we're doing more wrestling. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It was sick.
Good to know. All right, Camila Mendez, Veronica. I know when we left off, like, your boyfriend is being led out of the room in handcuffs. And so I'm assuming that season 3 is you primarily concerned with his well-being, his safety, and all of that. But also, you made a power move against your dad, Hiram, and you took Pops over from him, like you bought it right out from under him. Will we see your power expanding? Will you make other business moves?
I think so. I think Veronica's going to be like an entrepreneur in season 3. On top of being a high school student. But she'll be running a speakeasy in Pops. She's also, I feel like we're seeing a side of her we've never seen, because now she's obviously financially cut off from her father, and she needs to make her own money. And so she's working at Pops and just hustling. And I think it's a side of her that will show that she's not a spoiled rich girl, that she's really trying to prove herself to everyone.
And do you think that she and Archie's relationship will become closer, or will you think it will be fractured because of everything they've been through?
I think they're gonna run into some problems. I don't want to say too much.
It's dramatic. Lily Reinhardt, Betty Cooper. I feel bad for you.
Oh, me too.
I want you to know that I feel like I see the whole world in your eyes every time you act. And when your father was revealed to be the Black Hood, that had to be very traumatic, right? Will we see you leaning into the trauma? Will you be dealing with it this season, or will you cut yourself off from it and take a different path?
Well, right off the bat, starting in season 3, we take place 3 months after season 2 left off. So it's they've gone through their summer already. They're about to go back to school, and Betty spent her summer doing an internship, and she was really distracting herself. And so you kind of see her doing everything she can in her power to not think about her dad. And Alice and Polly kind of attack her, and their new weird spirituality with the farm makes them, tell her that she needs to listen to her soul and really confront her problems. And so Betty wants to stay far, far away from them.
So what will be in store for your relationship with Jughead? Do we think that Bughead is they are rock solid, or?
Right now, I think they're rock solid.
Cole Sprouse? Oh, Cole Sprouse?
Oh, yes.
Do you have anything to add? I know I have to say, you barely survived season 2. Barely.
Yeah, Jughead got his ass kicked like 4 times. He was just a magnet for punches last season.
Do you think that maybe Archie will take Jughead to the gym this season and maybe
No,
some self-defense?
absolutely not. Actually, one of the first things Roberto and I had talked about was making Jughead eat a lot more in this season. So he's going to be chewing on something almost every scene, which is strange and fun. But for the Bugheads, it's looking pretty solid.
Well, yeah, they start off season 3 as the investigative duo that they were in season 1, which is fun. And so they kind of tackle one of the new mysteries of the season 3 head on and dive deep into it.
Will your mom, will Gladys and Jellybean be cast this season?
They are coming to Riverdale.
They are
this
coming.
season.
And do we know? Roberto, do you know, or can you announce who they are?
We cannot announce who they are. It's going to be around episode 8 or 9.
8 or 9. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Just curious. All right. That's exciting, guys. How many calories do you think you consume per episode, Cole?
I show up to work with on an empty stomach and just fill up.
Yeah.
In every scene. Yeah, it's nice.
Good. All right. Casey caught Kevin Keller.
Hey,
You know, when we left off, it seems like you and Moose are like a thing. You're like a definite thing.
The make out in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you did. I mean, when I was in high school, if you made out in the bathroom.
You're a thing.
You're a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that did cement us as a thing. So that's going to be a thing in season 3, which is exciting.
But will Moose be public with his affection for you, or will it still be a closeted relationship?
I think it's halfway right now. He's trying to figure it out. So we're trying to push him in the right direction. But we definitely are a thing, and we'll kind of watch him and I figure that out. It's going to be fun.
And do you think that, with your dad is dating Josie's mom, will the two of you become siblings? Step siblings?
I've heard a rumor that we might move in together this year.
Yeah,
so
I like it.
do we share a bathroom?
I don't know.
What's going to happen? We're going to figure that out.
Yeah, Ashley Murray, what are you hearing?
I'm hearing that we will share a bathroom, and I'm going to take the most time in it.
Kevin's got to get that coif perfect. So,
The two of you, I have to say this cast is incredibly talented, but the two of you have such amazing voices. Will there be some duos, maybe?
Roberto?
Oh, yes.
Yes?
Oh, yes, there will be.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Sooner than you think.
Yeah, good. I knew the singing was really a hit when I was in Soul Cycle, and they were playing Milkshake from Riverdale in Soul Cycle.
Yes.
Which was
amazing.
I was like, I know this song.
Yay.
Machen, Amick, Alice. Alice, tell me about the farm.
Girl, it's fun. Find your soul, your true soul. It heals you. You drink great tea, you have crystals. There's a really handsome cult leader. Yeah, it's good.
What do they grow at that farm?
A lot of greenery.
So I think the audience is thirsty for phallus.
I think you're going to wish you never said that.
FP, are you thirsty for phallus?
There is not enough phallus in this room. Quench my thirst.
Wow.
Yes.
You're going to want that one back.
But FP, you have an interesting new position in town. You're going to be.
Yes,
you're going to be sort of the consigliere to your son, right? Isn't he taking over the
Correct.
serpent?
That word is really hard to pronounce, by the way. How do you say that?
Consigliere?
Yeah, I think.
Did I say it okay?
Oh, you did it great.
Consigliere.
You did it great.
Yeah, I mean, he, obviously handed over the throne to Jughead at the end of the second season, but will never leave his son in the lurch. And he just takes on a new role, helping him make the serpent strong again so we can live out the big plan.
Wow. I like
Yeah.
the big plan.
I like the big plan.
Reggie's not here, of course. Charles Melton is not here. But do we have a romance in store for Reggie, perhaps?
I think there will be an unlikely romance for Reggie.
Unlikely romance.
Starting in episode 3.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Can you give me anything else than that I can take home to my...
I can tell you that he starts working at Veronica's Speakeasy.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, it's true, mate.
Also, John Goldwater, hi. So how is it that you can take characters that are essentially almost 80 years old and make them so modern and relevant and topical in this day and age?
Well, there was a lot of steps along the way. It was actually amazing. But in 2013, we put out this comic book called Afterlife with Archie. That was just like amazing. It was Archie in the zombie apocalypse. And it was written by Roberto Aguirre Sacasa, the showrunner here and it was a game changer for us. Actually, in like the third book, Archie is bashing in the skull of his zombie father to save his mother. And like, people loved it. We were like, oh my God, people are like totally okay with Archie killing his own father to save his mother. So like, at that point, kind of everything was on the table, right?
I like it.
Anyway, and here we are with Riverdale, so it's been a great journey, a really great journey.
One thing I've learned from my fandom experience with Riverdale is that you all have the best, most devoted, most clever, most interesting fans.
We do.
I thought it would be nice to like give them extra time to ask questions because
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I could go all day, but don't you want your questions answered?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see who's first.